My name is Harry, I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Alright, today is May 30th, 2026. It is 4:16 a.m. So I took a while to put a list for you together. Yesterday, my son did his confirmation, so we are done with those studies. If he wants to continue doing Bible studies, hey, I will support it. But my part as a mother, introducing him to God, baptism, communion, confirmation, I did my part. If he wants to continue, like I said, I'll be more than happy to support it. And then after that, it's up to him. It's up to him. If he wants to change religion later on in life, or if he wants to study his father's religion, I'm all for it. But my part, what I grew up in, it never bothers me. My religion never bothers me. If you understand the core of religion, of Jesus and things like that, no matter what those people do with their respective religion, using the name of God in vain, that's up to them. But the core, understand the sentiment of God and religion, the structure to guide you to be sensible, respect others, at least to that extent, and many more. I did my part. So I was very busy yesterday, and he had there was 2 events he was supposed to do. One, that's the confirmation, and I think a prom. He had a prom to go to, but I was like, unless if you want to go take the class again next year, because today is the day where it finalized. So we did that, and I'm happy it's done, because I remember a couple years ago after the pandemic, my husband, who's not religious, who's not Catholic at all, was telling me, we were driving, he was like, look, the kids are getting old. I know you had stopped them because of the pandemic. You need to get it going because they're getting old. And I still remember that time when we were driving, all of us were in the car, and he told me to get the religious thing going. Because I start and then stop because of the pandemic. So when my son was about to go to high school, my oldest, he's like, get it out the way because he's getting old. Get it out the way. So yeah, that's that. And if in the future any of them wants to get married in the Catholic Church, all of the basics, all the foundation are done. Because if, from my understanding, this is why I didn't get married in the Catholic Church, because my husband is not Catholic. And when I went to the church and asked, and they were asking me information about my husband, and my husband is a different religion, and they said, well, he has to do all the sacraments before he could do it. And I didn't want my husband to change religion. I didn't want that at all. So I was like, we'll just do the civil and we're fine. And we're still together. So that was it. And I just made the priest pray on the ring for me, and that's it. But anyway, that's a little bit personal. I'm just happy I'm done with it. Every Saturday I don't have to wake him up. He has to go to class and things like that. So it's done with. I'm happy for him about that. Alright, so let's go on X. I may not even get a chance to finish record all of them, because later on I have to go meet my mother. So I might have 2 videos. I have this on the list. It's talking about Epstein file. Okay, first tweet. I have another one of this, just different caption. This is Edward right here, who's working, I guess, outside of Buckingham Palace. You have all these people and suit around him. I guess that's just a preview of, if the monarchy is gone, they'll be fine. Okay, so there's the caption here. Eddie Poodles around the palace, unrecognized by the people. So why does he need a motorcade? Alright, let's see here. Okay, so there's a music. I don't want to give myself work to put the music over it. Any sound? Yeah, still the music. Alright, there he is here. People don't even recognize him. So there's the motorcade here. Probably something else. They compiled the videos together. I think, I don't know. I just saw it and put it on my list. Still the music. Yeah, still music. So who's in that motorcade? Is that Sophie? What could possibly go wrong? Alright, so that's that. Let's read some of the comments. I remember his dad was utterly ashamed of him when he quit the Royal Marines because couldn't hack it. Apparently military mentality simply did not suit his personality. He went into show business instead. He still loved to dress up. There's a video I did in my early stage and studying, talking about Harry and Meghan, when I went on the quest of finding out and educate myself about the royal family. When I find out that Sophie had a miscarriage, through that, reading comments and on Twitter, I find out Sophie had a miscarriage. And then when I went to check it out, because not everything you read, you take it as facts. So I wanted to verify it to see if it was true. And then I read the article, and the article verified it. Through that article, as I was reading the article, I found out he did audit production. And then when I went and looked about audit production, oh my God, so many things. Okay, I have them on videos. It's on PYTE. That was my original channel where I first started talking about them. So go there and check it out. Audit production, and later on, there were some issues with money being invested in his audit production. And later on, I was listening to a TV show, I think, what's her name? Rachel Maddow, talking about Trump, about how Trump try to not pay tax or something like that. And then I put one and one together. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I said in the video, but I compare it to audit production kind of thing. I'll show you the thumbnails. You could go check it out. Okay. The monarchy isn't finished. It died some times ago, but they are still making the corpses dance. That is true. He came to Gillespie 2 years ago, helicopter, and there was about 5 people there. 2 of them policemen, bored shitless, then helicopter out. Most people in the village didn't even have a clue he was here. They are just taking the piss now, all this fuels burning vehicle. They are just taking the piss now, all this fuel burning vehicle, just for one entitled idiot, and they point about like they are special people. Yes, they are people with special needs, total idiots. A type who has never done a day work in his life. If there wasn't a motorcade, nobody will know or care who they are. They need the motorcade to feel important. I have another tweet making reference to that same video. I'm not gonna play it, maybe I'll skim through it really quickly, not to give myself work again, just different caption. Let me pause it. Okay, the people in the back are only interested in the building. At one point they call him a secret weapon of the monarchy, but people will not know who the royal is in this video. Safe space, I used to not know that royal too. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a video. Oh, maybe that's why I saw the video. I didn't put it on the list. Some Brits, black Brits who were talking, they didn't even know about Edward. Let me go find it, because I think I liked it, but I didn't put it on the list. So maybe because of this video that came out, that's why they put some people were putting that tweet out, that video. Let me read the comments and then go look for it. I hope no one comes for me, but with that hat, he looks like what many of us will call the weird uncle. He is nothing at all. He hasn't had a job for years and years. The taxpayers subsidize him. He gives back nothing. Why are we paying for this man and his family to live in a huge estate? It doesn't make sense. Even with all those bodyguards, nobody knows who he is. And they told us the title makes you famous, loser. He looks like a knob. It just seems so desperate. Alright, let me pause and go look for that video where the Brits were talking. They didn't even know the Queen had how many children. Let me go look for it. Looks like I didn't find it, or I didn't like it for it to appear on my like thing, but forget it. Let's go to the next tweet. I actually put more on the list other than what I went to look for. Next tweet. So I didn't find the video that I saw because I think I didn't like it. That's why it didn't appear in my like folder for me to see it. Because I'm seeing things that I saw like a couple days ago. Anyway, let's get back to this. The Monarchy's desperate new poll on Harry and Meghan's popularity 6 years after they walk away exposes raw institutional panic. Nothing screams collapsing relevance like fixating on the couple who escaped your toxic circus. Kate Middleton, after 20 years as a professional mannequin, nothing but a recycled wardrobe, zero credible achievements, and a legacy so empty it needs Harry and Meghan as props to stay visible. Reduced to compare and copy or stunts. If the Windsors must drag exile to manufacturers relevance, they are not majestic, merely mediocre and fading. Harry and Meghan exposed the house. Nah, I don't think it's Harry and Meghan who exposed them. The monarchy exposed itself because Harry and Meghan walked away, even they pushed them out, and then they mind their own business, focus on their work. If the palace had left them alone, everything will still seem normal. If they left Harry and Meghan alone, Meghan does her thing and things like that, the royal rats ignore Meghan and Harry, things will bend as normal. It's them who expose themselves, not Harry and Meghan. In my humble opinion. Let me know what you guys think and put the timestamp if you're responding to that, so I know what you're responding to. Harry and Meghan exposed the hollow void you paper over with pageantry. Keep pulling ghosts. Absolute nonsense. Next. Okay, let's see here. Opinion. The monarchy no longer need Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and Princess Kate's growing influence proves exactly why. They're just writing things to make themselves happy, alright? This is the thing that they train William for. Okay, he could do whatever he wants. The paper will continue writing nice things about him. This is what they train William to be. The paper will always back him up. Meanwhile, reality, everybody's seeing reality. As long the paper's writing nice thing about you, everything is fine. But things is still boiling under. Okay, they really must let go now, as enough is enough. They need to focus on trying to save what little they have left. Their polls are fixed and Harry and Meghan shouldn't be included in the first place. Thank you. Yeah, Meghan and Harry they're not in the same league as these people. They only included to allow for their PR machine to say they are hated, which they are not. They are acting like a bitter ex. Here has been another emotional support pool. Never has so much ink, paper, blood, sweat, and tears been expended on the two people that the monarchy does not need and who were deemed irrelevant 5 years ago. Who are they trying to convince? Us or themselves? Pretty much themselves. This is to make them feel good and sleep well at night. Very well said. And then you have pictures, videos of William going and the football match. I mean, it's fine and everything, but it's things that he does afterward, pretending that he's doing something to make up for good. They just can't be themselves. Alright, next tweet. They need to meet up again and get the story straight. Alright. Kate Middleton limit alcohol since cancer diagnosed. Kate Middleton still play these drinking games, royal family member Mike Tendo says. You should say the next tweet that I have, the squad put it an image for you guys. I know some ladies that smoke hard and drink like fish. I will not say who look exactly like them. Hint, bandage and fingers. Laughing my ass off. People are laughing. This the problem with telling lies. You need a very good memory to be a good liar. I know. And that's why I keep on saying it's a lot of work to lie. And these people cannot live authentically. They have to manufacture things because I really don't know why. Why did I say because I don't know? Oh my God, you've been missed the date of my Tendo comment. A comparison would be fair, not a one-sided dated opinion. Alright, you can always Google the article. It will tell you the date. I'm not here to do all the work for you. This quite is something. I'm telling you, to be on social media, you have to have a tough skin. Alright, so this is the next tweet. I think there's more comment, but I'm moving on. This is so funny. This is the image of it. Hilarious. Kate best watch the octopus tender hands, or is he the new pointer of the triangle? Oh my lord. That's that. The person who retweeted, there's no comment. Should I even go in that? I just wanted to okay, people are just laughing. You guys have no chill. I'm telling you. The squad, they turned their wording, the Royal Rats wording, into image. This is why they don't like the squad. Okay, so this is Erica, the TikTok video. Okay, no, it's not voodoo. Stop blaming it on voodoo and look in the mirror and make that change. Okay, what are they saying here? Can I see it? I'll enlarge it. If I don't finish read it, you guys go pause and read it because it's very small right now. Why do I get the feeling that there is a cloud hanging over the, what is it, Megxit team? So many seem to be facing difficult personal changes, and some have even passed away. There's the name here that Wally Meg does voodoo. Oh please, if this is what they're talking about, it's just, hey, it's one of those like was it President Obama when he was doing the debate with what's that guy, I'm seeing is Romney, and Romney keep on pointing out about how many people this whatever, and President Obama told his truth, and then Romney keep on going, and then President Obama was like, please proceed, and then self-destruct.
I certainly do. I think it's interesting. The president just said something which is that on the day after the attack, he went in the Rose Garden and said that this was an act of terror. That's what I said. You said in the Rose Garden, the day after the attack, it was an act of terror. It was not a spontaneous demonstration. Is that what you're saying?
Please proceed, Governor.
I want to make sure we get that for the record, because it took the president 14 days before he called the attack in Benghazi an act of terror.
Get the transcript.
He did, in fact, sir. So let me call it an act of terror.
Can you say that a little louder, Candy?
He did call it an act of terror. It did as well take 2 weeks or so for the whole idea of there being a riot out there about this tape.
That's all. All right, let's listen to her. Harry and Meghan have been doing their thing, and then let's not forget, I've stopped for a while about the prayers, but the prayers the squad have been putting out, and I'm not the first one who started it, okay? I don't want to take full credit for that. It's some squaddies. Sometimes their tweets were just prayers for Harry, Meghan, Archie, little bit Diana, and I'll add Miss Doria into it. Okay, those prayers help. Okay, the amount of nonsense those royal rats are doing or saying, those prayers help. I do not question the universe. I do not question the universe. If it works, hey, why stop? I did stop for a while about not putting the prayers at the end of the video. So lately I've been starting again. Okay, but let's listen to Erica. I didn't listen to it yet, by the way.
Oh, it's not voodoo. It's not voodoo. It is that community of some of the most toxic people you can think of. And what the fuck did you think was going to happen when you build a community that is predicated on bullshit and hate? It was bound to crumble. Prioritizing saying horrible things about a woman who you don't live near, who has no impact on your personal life, and yet not focusing on your health. All the people that you mentioned died alone.
There have been a lot of Derangers who I don't pay attention to them. You see, I would not know. That Wally thing, it's one of those tweets that one of the squad mentioned. They didn't even mention her name, but they just said a Deranger. Later on, I heard the name and I just read it again here. Oh my Lord. Whew.
They found one of them rotting in her apartment.
Oh my God.
And no one in that community knew anything until months later.
Wow.
You guys are not a family. You're just a bunch of losers. All of you in the Meghan community, you're fucking losers. You have nothing to show for all the years that you've been doing this. A bunch of Photoshop pictures, conspiracy theories, people who were in your life left you alone because they don't want anything to do with your crazy ass. It's like you really push people away and you're all you have left with each other. And because you guys really don't like each other, fun fact, you tear each other up. Nancy Sitley, come to the front with your fucking loser ass.
Oh my God.
It wasn't me who dug into your business. It was your own sisterine who told the world that you were fucking that Z-list comedian.
Oh my God.
The rest was easy to follow. So I don't give a fuck about your breakup. Bitch, you can't break up with someone who was never yours to begin with.
Oh my Lord.
And Wally dying in her own filth is because she created filth. She died like she lived. So I don't want to hear nothing about no fucking voodoo. This is all you people. You do it to yourselves. Log the hell off. You want to know why I'm not sitting up here bitter and angry like some of you? Because when I hit stop on this phone, my life is nice. It's beautiful. As a matter of fact, my nephew is graduating college this weekend, and I cannot wait to see family I have not seen in years.
Look at this. At the beginning of this video, I just mentioned about my son doing his confirmation, and he had, what was it, a prom to go to, but he didn't go. Well, he went late, but it was pretty much already finished. But his confirmation was important. Okay, priorities. Okay, he did 2 years of studying his religious thing for the confirmation. So he had to do that so he could finish it. I didn't even know that's what this was about. But it was good that I said what I said at the beginning of this video, where we have a life. We have family. We have things to do. We don't sit around bitching and talking negative about people. My goodness, let's continue. Even though I do a video every day, that's the time I want to dedicate to do it. Okay, that's because I want to do it. I don't go and dig up on things that I don't give a F about just to bitch about. Okay, let's continue.
That is my life. That's what I do when I log off. What do you do when you log off? Sitting here creating edits and shit. You're fucking weirdos. Nobody needs to do spell work on you. You guys do a good enough job
That's true.
on your own, tearing up everything that you built around you. And guess what? I don't think anyone, and I mean anyone, with common sense is sitting here thinking, yeah, it is kind of funny that all of this bad stuff is happening to them. No, your karma is coming to get you. It's the season of karma. I don't know if you know that or not. For all of you who've been out here doing amazing good work, you're going to get a lot back in return. You've been out here fucking around and doing bad shit, your karma is coming to you. That's all that's happening right now. Voodoo my ass. Go take that nonsense somewhere else, okay? Anyway, squaddies, you all have a good weekend. Derangers, go fuck yourselves. Or go meet Wally on the other side. I don't even fucking care anymore. Bye.
Go meet her on the other side. The Rangers will keep falling on their faces as they continue to waste their energy on spreading hatred toward Meghan and her family. Alright, see that person up there? Those speaking facts. Alright, so that's all. Let's go to the next tweet. It's another TikTok video. I don't remember what it was about. Lately I've been seeing this lady's videos on X, so whenever I come across it, I'll share it with you. Okay, Charlene White. For some people, beating down Duchess Meghan is almost a sport, and we have seen this play out over the years, over and over again. I was coughing. Did I finish with it? And we have seen this play out over the years, over and over again. So let's listen. Almost a minute.
Charlene White says that for some people, beating down Duchess Meghan is almost a sport. And we have seen this play out over the years, over and over and over again. Because when they left the royal family, they became private citizens, and yet they continue to receive multiple headlines a day about every single little thing they're doing. But the entire point is that they make their own money. They are not taxpayer funded. So they should not be scrutinized to the level that the royals are. But we know that the royals have a pact with the British media that enables them to say, continue to focus on Meghan and Harry so that you don't focus on all of our shortcomings. And it's also worth saying that the royal media gets lots of money every time they mention Duchess Meghan. Charlene White says that for some people, beating down Duchess Meghan is almost a sport. And we have seen this play out over the years, over and over and over again.
Oh, it's playing over. Sorry. Okay, Charlene White is one of the major players in this sport she speaks of. She hosts 2 shows on ITV which are focused on beating down Meghan. Okay, I don't know who she is. I really don't. For the Sussex squad, beating down Catherine is a daily routine. Well, the thing is that it's what Catherine says, and then the squad go along with it. She says something about Bob the Builder. Next thing you know, the squad are talking about Bob the Builder. It's what she says. Whatever the squad could make out of her words. But anyway, that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. Okay. In this channel, I have not spoken, maybe on my community board, but videos about the Invictus, I have not. I've put a video out on our part of Pew Service channel, PYTE channel, but not this. Only on my community board. Okay. I believe this is the first video that I'm making reference to the Invictus game. Well, the thing about Australia being funding Invictus game, Australia. Okay, so that's what I mean. All right. This is how the reinstatement of the Invictus Australia funding by the Australian government was covered in the local news. No snark even from the hater Murdoch media. Not only did the veteran community mobilize to tell their stories of why the funding mattered, the Australian government faced strong public backlash, forcing them to reverse their decision in record time. The moment, okay, if you go back to my videos on PYTE, the moment I saw it, and that the Australian government is funding it again, and I was like, you know what, let me go look for that tweet. I'm gonna pause and come back to this. All right, so that was the tweet that I respond to the very first time I came across of the information being spread on Twitter about Invictus. Okay, thank you to everyone who spoke up and apply pressure. It was from the Invictus itself, but this one is similar to that. Okay, thank you to everyone who spoke up and applied pressure to get this funding reinstated. This is a huge win for common sense, public advocacy, and the veteran community. A reminder that government do listen when enough people refuse to stay silent. Okay, so that was my comment here. I know, right? That's what I was saying. I need to look for the Invictus post, because the Invictus post was the one that I saw. This one probably was the second one. Alright, so that's my comment. I know, right? That's what I was saying. All these squaddies, my hat's off to y'all. And those we are Invictus, whose names we may never know. If they want to stop Invictus, these elected officials need to stop funding and start wars. Okay, they need to stop funding and stop wars. Okay, without wars, we will not need We Are Invictus. Olympic Games and other sports available. All right, and there she is. Well said. We'll always speak up for good. All right, but I don't need to look for the Invictus one. It's similar to that. Alright, so if the people did not speak up, they will not do it, because it will just go under the radar just like anything else. And I think what they're trying to do now, after they've already go after Sendabali, now they're going after Invictus. So I read this already. This is an archive. I'm just gonna read the caption. Well, I read the caption already, but the Screenshot. Government backflips, funds wounded veteran sport group Invictus Australia. After considerable public backlash, the decision means Australia will now be able to send a team of veterans to the Invictus Games. Maybe what they were trying to do, because the UK is gonna host, Birmingham is gonna host the next Invictus game. So maybe they're trying, maybe that's what it is. They're trying to humiliate Harry, to say, oh, there's not a lot of people, countries are not sending their vets over there to participate in the games. Maybe that's what it is. Because I could see, okay, not that I'm for it, because the type of government we have now, okay, with the MAGA mindset, I will not be surprised. The U.S. may not do the same thing that it did with when President Biden was in office, or previous presidents. Even the choice of words is in poor taste. Backflips when discussing funding for wounded veterans. Clown. This is how I wish the people of Lesotho, regarding Dr. Catherine Lepotho, okay, had mobilized together with Prince Yoso and the Centabali hostile takeover by Sophie Shanduka. At some point, the beneficiaries would have stood up for themselves. I didn't even see any headline on Lesotho Tribune. That's a good point. There's a lot to be said for citizen advocacy. Why did they even end it anyways? Was it pressure from the palace behind the scenes? That's what I think. That's what I think. Okay, I don't think it had anything to do with the leftovers. These were the thoughts I share at the time. All right, let's see here. Sharing my thoughts on the Invictus Australia budget cuts. I think the palace had to do with it. They just sneak it in there. Of everything, they just sneak it in there. Hopefully people don't pay attention. Firstly, I don't think it's got anything to do with that family, even though they are. The Australian government's been under pressure to cut expenditure due to rising defense costs, pressure of oil prices, and there's the money sign here. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. There's another one regarding Invictus. All of a sudden, I find myself coughing. I don't know what's going on. I hope I don't come up with anything. Oh my God, this is too long. Let's see here. Veterans Affairs Minister Matt Keogh tells a current affair federal funding will be reinstated for the life-changing charity. They put their lives at risk to protect our country, asking for little in return. So when the federal government withdrew all of its funding for Invictus Australia, veterans say it was a slap in the face. The decision brought some to tears. The organization saved lives, so this wasn't a fight they were willing to give up on. And their efforts have paid off. Veterans Affairs Minister Matt Keogh has revealed to a current affair the federal government will provide another 3 years of funding to Invictus Australia. So people better pay attention, you know, when they're doing their budget, because they will come back to it again. Alright. But I don't know how the Australia tax is done, but they probably would be more than willing to give tax cut to the rich. So keep an eye on that. As part of establishing the new Veteran and Family Wellbeing Agency, with transitioning funding for broader well-being support to the veteran community to that new agency, Keogh said, as we transition in order to maintain continuity and certainty of support services for our veteran community, we're providing another 3 years of funding to Invictus Australia. Invictus Australia is not a for-profit organization helping veterans and their families recover and reconnect with their communities through sport. It was born from the Invictus Games, Prince Harry's global sporting competition for wounded, injured, and sick military personnel. Rachel Carrigan says Invictus Australia is the reason she's here today. The Air Force veteran's mental health deteriorated after serving in Afghanistan and returned to civilian life. In 2010, Rachel was diagnosed with chronic PTSD and severe depression disorder. At one point, she was homeless and living out of her car with her daughter. She tried to take her life 3 times. Then she found Invictus Australia and compete at the 2016 Invictus Games in Orlando, Florida. It turned her life around. What the game actually gave me was the belief in myself again, the pride, the look of pride on my daughter's face. I could actually dream again. Rachel told a current affair, my daughter has a mother now because of Invictus. The Australian government backtracked. They will renew full funding for Invictus. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so I'm done with Harry, Invictus, the leftovers. Now regarding the Epstein. Alright, Epstein file. 2 about the Epstein file and 1 about some history thing. Alright, so this is an elected official in the US, okay? Keep in mind, whoever's outside the US, right now, the reason the country is in that downfall, we have 3 chambers, 3 branches of government, okay? We have the Supreme Court. It's running by MAGAs, okay? Because the Supreme Court, I think 4 or 5 out of 9 of the current Supreme Court justices of them is MAGAs. Trump put like 3 or 4 of them, okay? Not in this term, but the last time he was there, he put his MAGA type of judges in there. So pretty much the voice of reasonable is very small in the Supreme Court, okay? That's the judicial branch. So it run by MAGAs, and we have the presidency, which is Trump himself, MAGA, okay? And then we have the, how do you call this, legislative branch, okay? So the legislative branch is what makes the law, what create the law, okay? And it has 2 chambers, the Senate and the House. So both of these are run by MAGAs. So the entire government system is run by MAGAs. The few of the well-reasonable, let's say the other party, let's say the Democrat, is very small in comparison to the MAGA type Republican. So this is why the country is in that state. All right, just to give you a perspective, maybe there's other people who could explain it much better. Okay, we have the presidency, that's the executive, that's Trump. We have the judicial, that's the Supreme Court, and then we have the legislative, which has 2 houses, the 2 chambers, the House and the Senate. Okay, all of these are run by MAGAs. So the reason we're not seeing the Epstein thing coming out much quicker is they trying to cover it up. So the few reasonable voices, and I think now some of those Republicans who were probably scared before, I don't know why, but they're starting to move away from the narrative or the scare tactic to prevent them from talking. And some of them said they're not running again. They just leave. They're leaving. Okay, whatever pressure they're putting on them. So keep that in mind as I share that with you. Alright, breaking. Rep and Sari steps out of Pam Bundy's Epstein file interview to tell the American people what's happening behind closed doors. And then Pam Bundy, okay, I do not know for a fact that she does have cancer, because it's saying that she has cancer. The first thing that came to mind when I heard that is the nonsense that's going on in the UK. Okay, whenever they all run into problem, they bring the cancer issue up. So I do not know what if she truly has cancer, but for me, the moment that I read that she had cancer, that's what came to mind, because now she's in hot seat, they're questioning her. But keep that aside. I'm not saying she doesn't have it. I'm just telling you that's what I thought when I heard she has cancer. Alright. Breaking. Rep and Sari step out of Pam Bundy Epstein files interview to tell the American people what's happening behind closed doors. Quote, the DOJ has been weaponized by Donald Trump to ensure that the most massive cover-up in American history is carried out. She did not stop there. And Sari also accused James Comer, Mike Johnson, and Republican leadership of helping enable it. They are not even trying to hide it anymore. A total shame. Okay, it's almost 2 minutes. Let's listen to her, and I'm not gonna go in the comments. Okay, is that the same thing? Almost 2 minutes. 154. Is there any more? Okay, so let's listen to her. Screenshot, all right?
Today's ridiculous charade has made astonishingly clear that the United States Department of Justice has been weaponized by Donald Trump to ensure that the most massive cover-up in American history is carried out. And this is being enabled by Republicans in Congress, led by Republican Chairman James Comer and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. This entire Epstein investigation, led by Chairman Comer, has been absurd. We have 2 legal subpoenas against former Attorney General Pam Bondi. She is supposed to be here under oath today on video, answering questions for the American people about her role and the direct hand that she had in this cover-up. Instead, she is deflecting, she is refusing to answer questions, and she continues to refuse to answer specific questions about the President of the United States. It is so clear that whether it be Pam Bondi, whether it be Chairman Comer, whether it be Mike Johnson, the entire party is terrified of Donald Trump and his retaliation as it pertains to the cover-up of the Epstein files. It's unacceptable. It is notable that she continues to blame Todd Blanche and Kash Patel. We, of course, want to speak to them, but I think what I want to make clear to the American public and to everybody, and to the survivors especially, is that we are not going to give up on this. I think Republicans believe that they just kind of carry out these nonsense transcribed interviews and don't show up here today, that we will forget about this. We are just getting started as it pertains to accountability and justice for the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and any other rich and powerful person in this country who perpetrated these crimes.
I told you guys, anything that has to do with children, they're not gonna let it go. If, for instance, the Democrat win the House, okay, in the midterm, majority of these people, you know where they're gonna go, because they already fund that place already. Is what's that country? And it's not Venezuela. Nacho. What's that country? Oh my God, what country is nachos from again? Argentina. Because this is their next step, their next place they're gonna be aimed with. Because I don't think European countries gonna want them there, and then the American are gonna want to go after them. And then what Trump is doing, oh my God, he already destroyed so many things. So much to say. Let me try to finish with this video. Alright, this is the next tweet talking about the Epstein file as well. Wow, this is quite damning for Donald Trump regarding the Epstein files. Rep. Walkinshaw, okay, is he a Democrat or Republican? That's from Virginia. Homeland, that's Democrat. Okay, former Fairfax County Supervisor, honored to serve VA 11. Okay, so he's a Democrat, but in Virginia. Okay, quote. Okay, so it's a quote, so he probably gonna say it here. You could pause and read it, but if he's gonna say it, there's no reason for me to read it.
I want to share one piece of information, one question that the former Attorney General did answer. She was asked specifically about Donald Trump, President Trump's awareness of Epstein's crimes before they became public knowledge. She had the opportunity to say Donald Trump certainly wasn't aware of those crimes. She had the opportunity to say, I know Donald Trump, and if he was aware of those crimes, he would have done something. Instead, she said, I don't know. She also said, quote, this is a direct quote, I'm not certain of the extent of his knowledge. I think that's a perfect example as to why we need Pam Bondi under oath in a real deposition for the camera so the American people can see and hear her answers to our questions. I want to share one piece of information.
Pretty much whatever he said is what's on the caption. Alright, this is my last tweet, alright? And then we're done. I'm gonna do another video. It will be for PYTE. Let's pause this. Okay. White race is the most evil race on the planet. 2 minutes and 1 second. Screenshot.
Hi, thanks for coming today. Are there any trends within the black community, such as higher crime rates or higher illegitimacy rates, that could explain their position vis-a-vis whites? And can those be explained by some dominant social group?
No.
No to the first one, or the
no
second
to
one?
no to both.
There's no.
I mean, there's a propagandistic mechanism that's afloat about, black illegitimacy and black criminality. I guess it depends on what kind of crime you have in mind. If we think about which community in the United States has the highest degree of history of violence, that's unquestionably white Americans. Unquestionably. I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware of the 100 massacres that were conducted between the end of the Civil War and World War II that were directed against black communities throughout the United States, in which thousands of blacks were killed and the white terrorists appropriated black-owned property. So there's no segment of the population that has a greater history of violence than white Americans. So when you talk about these kinds of matters to me, you're actually mouthing a set of propagandistic claims that are made on the right in the United States, and they do not have a foundation in fact.
Like, he cooked them on high heat. See, what people don't understand, it has always been this thing to try to connect criminality to black people. These people just had these people in slavery, and the minute that they're free, they were saying, oh, they're prone to crime, they're prone to stealing, they're prone to doing this and that. And it was just the audacity to even go there. People that had people enslaved in chattel slavery were now saying those same said people were criminals. Imagine that. And so today they are still doing the exact same thing.
With what I see happen in the Middle East, it's unquestionable. Anyway, while this was playing, I searched for a prayer. I said pray for vision. Because people need to see. They need to see what is happening in front of them, even if people are lying. Okay, prayer for vision can take a few different paths depending on your need. Below are 3 simple and powerful prayers for spiritual direction, faith in your purpose, and physical healing. Let's pick one of them. Let's pick the first one. A prayer for spiritual vision and clarity. Quote, Lord, I ask that you open my eyes and grant me a spirit of wisdom and revelation. Give me fresh vision for your purpose for my life. Remove anything that hinders me from seeing the path ahead. Align my will with yours and show me the exact step I need to take today to honor you. In Jesus' name, amen. Alright, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching. The next tweet that I'm going to do for PYTE, hopefully I don't add to the list because I have somewhere to go later. I will start with this. Alright, so that will be on PYTE, my other channel. Okay, thanks for watching.
Vanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.